What's going on, LEGO Maniacs? It's Ty, the LEGO guy here, and today we're taking a look at the Gungan Sub going all the way back to when Star Wars started, or at least LEGO Star Wars started, which is 1999. But just to get the facts out of the way, this is set 7161. It had 379 pieces, 3 minifigs, retailed for 50 US. Nowadays, this set's going for 159 new or 66 used. And for its time, it was decent. We're gonna get into its positives and its negatives. It is quite dated, but it's really cool looking back at LEGO sets from the past, especially, well, Star Wars or whatever, theme, and seeing how they kind of did things. But anyways, enough talk. Let's get right into it. And to start us off, we'll give you a look at this interesting looking little landmass. Obviously it's underwater. There's a stingray on top of it. Very blocky, very dated looking. But all in all, it's not too bad. What I do like about this set is it actually comes with these unique little clams. And you get one of them. The other thing that's cool is you also get a starfish. So you actually got a lot of different little animals in this. And you got the stingray. My only stingray I actually own in my entire LEGO collection. Nice mold. Then you get this little landmass. I mean, least interesting thing, it's extremely blocky looking. Anyways, those are the small build that's included in this. Let's now take a look at the main model. And to begin, let's give you guys a 360 view of this boy. So it's not terrible looking. Some people really don't like the look of this Gungan Sub, but we're getting into its positives and negatives. Obviously you can tell it's very blocky looking, but let's actually now break down some of its features. And looking at it from a little bit more of a bird's eye view, how you kind of access the minifigs is all these windows kind of open up very nicely. Now 2011 did improve upon this. If you actually watch the film, they're all sitting in one little cockpit. In this one, they kind of separated them into 3 different ones. So, not a bad thing. It's just, it's not accurate to the film. What's cool about it as well is it has these little compartments to carry propellers. And you're probably wondering, well, why on earth does it have propellers? Well, let me show you. If you're a kid and you wanted to play with this, let's say you wanted to separate the sub. This is not movie accurate, but it's a cool little feature that they did do. And actually pull the head right off. I don't think they'd ever do this in a LEGO Star Wars set nowadays. Like, they try and make it accurate. They wouldn't make it like customizable, which is really interesting. This even comes off, which is crazy. And then if you open up this compartment here, you have all these jets and whatnot. So what you can kind of do, you can flip this and put this here. You really got to stick it on either side though if you want to do that. Okay. And yeah, you can kind of make this its own little vehicle, which is interesting. Or let's say you wanted to switch it up even more. I have no idea where they did this, but it is still kind of cool. You can actually stick this and this like so. This thing would go really fast if it was just this. That's just like basically a sub rocket. Or remember those little propellers? Well, can stick those on and call her a day. So I have no idea why they had all these little customizable little things, why it has 2 different little motors. Wanted to give you guys a little bit better view. This has very Aquazone type vibes, but interesting that they went through and did all that. Yeah, what's cool about it too is it has some nice little lights on either side of the sub. So all in all, interesting looking little vehicle, and if you literally want to put it back together, it's not that difficult to do. Literally everything just goes back together like so, and you're good to go. It's supposed to look a lot more sleek than this, but this was 1999. These were the pieces that they kind of had available. Anyways, that's the set itself. Let's now take a look at the minifigs. And here we have the 3 minifigs that are included. On the far left, we have Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Jar Jar. So Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan are rocking these chrome hilted lightsabers, and I absolutely love them. They by far are my favorite. These 2 minifigs are quite common. They were like in 5 or 6 episode 1 sets. However, what was unique about this set at the time, this was the first time we were able to get a young Obi-Wan, and I absolutely love him. You can tell that's Obi-Wan. I mean, there's not crazy amount of detail. His face is actually quite similar to the... There's a Luke face that's nearly identical. But this is Obi-Wan. It's just funny how similar those two heads were. And they have no back face printing or back torso printing, but all in all, nice looking. I like their capes quite a bit. I also love Qui-Gon's hairpiece. I think that's awesome. You can definitely tell it's Qui-Gon. And Jar Jar, believe it or not, this was the first time that LEGO actually made a custom head. Like, they hadn't done that before. They always had minifigure heads. Whereas in 1999, they're like, you know what, we can't go with that. We're gonna have to make something a little bit different. Anyways, those are the minifigs. Let's now get into the end of the review and get my final thoughts. Well guys, that was my review. Do hope you enjoyed it. Honestly, looking at this model, it's far from perfect. The 2011 was far better in my books. One of these days, I want to do a comparison between the two. There was a lot of pieces they didn't have back then. You know, there's a lot of different factors we have to consider. Yes, it isn't perfect, but I do believe it captures the overall look of what it's supposed to be. Like, you can tell what it is. And I think the minifigs were good as well. Like, I mean, this was the first time we got young Obi-Wan. This was also a gift from my mom, well, sort of. Like, I didn't have enough money, so my mom paid for the rest, which was really nice of her. So shout out to mom. But yeah, I mean, I think all in all, it's a decent set. It's not perfect. There's a lot of room for improvement, but it wasn't terrible. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this one. If you like it, if you don't. Areas you think they could maybe improve on it. But yeah, that's all I got for you today. But if you like this video, leave it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing and click that bell so you're notified for any future LEGO Star Wars reviews, comparisons, etc. We basically do something Star Wars related every Tuesday. But yeah, that's all I got for you again. But thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.